The United States is calling on the Chinese Communist Party to stop its persecution of Falun Gong. For 2.5 decades, PRC authorities have targeted Falun Gong practitioners and their families in a campaign of abuses and rights violations. We call upon the PRC to cease its repressive campaign and release all who have been imprisoned for their beliefs. That statement was made on July 20th, a really significant date. 25 years ago, shortly after the clock struck midnight on July 20th, 1999, police raided the homes of Falun Gong practitioners across China, making thousands of illegal arrests. Overnight, a practice once praised for its health and moral benefits had become an enemy of the state. So what is Falun Gong? It's a spiritual practice that teaches the 3 principles of truth, compassion, and forbearance, as well as 5 meditative exercises. Qigong, or energy practice, was popular in China in the 1970s and 80s. And by the time Falun Gong was introduced to the public in 1992, Chinese people were really familiar with these mind-body practices steeped in the traditions of Buddhism and Taoism. But Falun Gong was different. Spreading through word of mouth, an estimated 70 million to 100 million people had taken up the practice in a matter of years. That's 1 in 13 people in China. People said it had great health benefits, and by trying to live by truth, compassion, and forbearance, they felt they were becoming better people. Then, in 1999, CCP leader Jiang Zemin created the Gestapo-like 610 office to operate above the law and use the power of the entire state apparatus to suppress Falun Gong. He ordered ruin Falun Gong practitioners' reputations, bankrupt them financially, and destroy them physically. Since 1999, the CCP has illegally detained Falun Gong practitioners in labor camps, jails, and brainwashing centers, torturing and even murdering them for their organs. The CCP's practice of forced organ harvesting on live Falun Gong practitioners has drawn international condemnation. If the CCP is trying to wipe out the practice of truth, compassion, and forbearance, what does that say about the CCP? And where does the United States stand on this?
1, it is something that we will continue to raise with PRC officials directly, and 2, we won't hesitate to take appropriate actions from the U.S. government, and you've seen us done so.
The House recently passed the Falun Gong Protection Act, which would sanction CCP members participating in the persecution and stop any cooperation with China in the organ transplant field as long as the CCP is in power.
This bill is the first binding commitment by Congress to take strong legal action against the persecution and forced organ harvesting of Falun Gong, making Falun Gong the centerpiece of legislation, an action long overdue after 25 years.
Several states have already passed laws to ban state insurance funds from being used to support organ transplants in China. Next, the bill needs Senate approval and the president to sign it into law.